How have I seen students and videos being used in the classroom, and does it increase student engagement? So when I was in middle school for my 7th and 8th grade, there was a lot of video being used by the teachers themselves. In science class, we had things like Mythbusters and Bill Nye the Science Guy. Those definitely increased more student engagement than like documentaries like Planet Earth. Planet Earth, we had a lot of kids that fell asleep while watching it, so they were less engaged. But Bill Nye the Science Guy and Mythbusters, since those were more children targeted, a lot more interesting, kids tended to be more engaged. I remember I was definitely more engaged with Mythbusters and Bill Nye the Science Guy, and that's something I still watch to this day, as opposed to Planet Earth. In history class, we used a lot of documentaries from like the History Channel, as well as different things like Liberty Kids. My 8th grade history teacher, he used Liberty Kids, and I remember that's something that I still watch to this day. A lot of kids like the cartoons, so if you have something that's more educational based, but it's still a lot of good things to learn from, I think that's definitely increases the engagement. As far as for students using the technology with videos, we got to use our iPads to create iMovies. And so once we get done with them, work together as a group, then we'd submit them online via Google Classroom or eBackpack, and then the teacher would show it up on the projector of, okay, this is so-and-so's project. By the time that we got into high school, teachers definitely started using more movies. In English, it was for like either Shakespeare or other novels that we got to read. In history, they definitely started using more movie clips. And in our government class one time, we actually got to search for our own movie clip and show them to the class. We also got to watch like The Men Who Built America, that mini documentary series. I think a lot of kids tended to be more engaged with that, and we also continued to use the iPads to make iMovies. We had them solely the iPads alone my freshman and sophomore year. Then junior year, we moved on to using the Chromebooks, but we still had access to the iPads, or at times when we were given to like whatever free access to work on a project. So for example, I make Lego stop motion videos, and so I can use note cards such as these and like little Lego pieces, and I could just put them together that way. I'd put them together on my iPod at home, and I'd just build them together. Since I had access to the iPod at home, I also had access to iMovie, and so I could upload them that way onto YouTube, transfer it to my Chromebook, and display it for the presentation that way. In speech and science class, we did get to watch a lot of TED Talks. Kids definitely looked forward to watching TED Talks than I think a traditional documentary. In science class, there was a few different movies like Osmosis Jones or Tupper Sky. Spanish, we got to watch music videos or occasionally a couple movies. I think overall, videos that I saw in middle school and high school, most students tended to be engaged a lot more. Now, as a parent, I work with 4th graders, so most of the kids tend to be pretty okay with the videos. It's just you have to keep them on task. Be like, okay, now is not the time to take a nap, which that happens a lot. They use Mystery, which is a science curriculum, that after each lesson that's taught, they get to watch the video that goes along with it, explains it. Kids, I think, tend to be less engaged with that one since it's more educational based rather than the cartoons that I used to watch that were more, they're still educational based, but they had a lot more creativity to them and a lot more energy to them. Like when they watched Magic School Bus a couple weeks ago, kids were definitely a lot more engaged with that than some of the other ones. So the question that I answered was, how have I seen videos in the classroom, which I didn't say, all throughout my middle school and high school years, as well as being a parent. And I'd say that overall it does increase myself and other students' engagement within the classroom.